This is an animation of time-lapse camera number 3. This particular camera faces toward the west. I'm going to start the animation here. I'm starting it on March 22nd, 2016, about 2 p.m. and the time is actually in standard time, even though the current time was switched over to daylight, but so you have to add an hour to the time here. So I'm going to hit play, and you can see that the winds during this day were from the west-southwest, so they're blowing straight into the camera. Remember, this camera faces west, so you can see over here is the railroad tracks. This is the fence that goes along east-west, and you can see some of the dust plumes coming in from the west, and there's also some plume initiation areas, source areas over toward the north of the highway. I'm playing at about twice the speed. Remember, every frame is about every 5 seconds. So this is actually around 3:20 p.m. local time. Let me just slow it down here for this particular plume that came off of the north side of the frame. So I'm just going to step through one at a time. As you can see, remember that each frame is 5 seconds, and it's about 3:26 p.m. local time. The visibility gets quite low at times. So this would be a particular event that would be very difficult to see while you're driving at 75 miles an hour. I would expect that the view on the highway would be similar to this. Let me do a few more frames forward. There are times of reprieve that the visibility improves, but overall, just during this time period, it's pretty bad. There's another event. We can do single frames. As you can see, there's an area. You can see it mostly in the background. There's some source areas blowing dust. So there are times when it gets very low, the visibility, and then the next 15-20 seconds later it clears up. But overall, it's been really very dusty in this area during this day. This was a synoptic event, a frontal event. Winds were high pretty much most of the day, and then actually continued into the next day. You can see the dust coming in from the west, blowing toward the east. It'll hit. I'm doing twice the speed. We remember again that the time, this is an hour later than what it says, so it's actually 3:54. The winds peaked around 4:49 local time, which would be about 3:49 on this animation here, the camera. As you can see, the dust actually was coating the lens of the camera, so we'll have to clean it the next time we go out there and visit. So remember, this is about 4:14. The winds are gusting on the order of about 50 miles per hour here and there between the two New Mexico DOT weather stations. One station peaked at 61 miles per hour and the other one about 57 miles per hour. And then over in Lordsburg, they had a peak gust of 53 miles per hour at 5:55 p.m. local time. Just going to play it 3 times. We go through the end of the day. See, the camera wiggles a little bit because it's on a T-post, and that actual T-post actually wiggles by the wind. So this is about 5:19 p.m. local time. Later in the day, you could actually see a plume in the background, really very high. That's actually what I think there's dust from the Wilcox Playa in Arizona, because I could see that in the GOES imagery later on in the afternoon. That's the sun coming over, so it actually will obscure the sun a bit when the plume from Arizona comes in. So right about there, you can start to see the Wilcox Playa dust in this area. This gets brown. It's in the background. Very hazy. You really can't tell. You can't really see the mountains in the background because of that dust coming in from Arizona to the west. And the camera images in at 6 p.m.